Dear Filofaxy Girl. I just thought I would try and post a quick video on my home budget binder. It's actually more of a bill binder, and I had talked about maybe doing a video on it before, but it was full of all my personal information, and the other day I was printing up new calendars and getting it ready to set up for the new year, so I thought this would be the perfect time to go ahead and show you guys how I keep track of my finances to make sure nothing slips through the cracks. And I also use Quicken, but I noticed that when I was just using Quicken, sometimes things were slipping through the cracks. And just the other day, I don't know what happened, but my Quicken file disappeared, gone, can't find it anywhere. Tried to recover it, tried all sorts of things, and I hadn't backed it up in 3 years. So I lost 3 years of tracking my finances just like that. So I am backing up weekly now. And I won't go into too much about my Quicken and how I do that. I'll tell you a little bit about that as I show you my folder and kind of show you the process of how I go about paying my bills. So I hope this helps you. I actually found this idea from searching YouTube channels a couple years ago, searching for the subject and just kind of taking little bits and pieces of what other people did and incorporating it to something that would work for me. And I have been using this. This will be the 3rd year I'm using this folder, and I absolutely love it. So I just thought I might share that with you. So let's go ahead and get started. So here is my budget binder, and the first thing I'll do is walk you through how I have it set up. I just printed up a little thing that I made on Photoshop and stuck it into this folder that I got from Staples. These are the Staple brand folders. I love them. They're extremely durable. I've had this one for a few years now, and they come in different colors, and I purchased green because green reminds me of money. So this is my folder. I think it's a 1-inch folder, 1.5-inch folder. It's not very big. When you open it up, I have a monthly bills checklist calendar. And then I also have a divider for each month, and I labeled them with my label maker. And also in each month, I slip in the name of the month with just something cute. I found these online a few years ago. I have no idea where I got them from now, but I printed them up and kind of stuck them in the pockets to the beginning of every month just because they're cute and fun to look at. When you go into the month, I will keep my bills over here, any reminders right here, and I also have my calendar with the day each thing is due, and also when payday is. The first thing I did was printed up a calendar for each section, and I got these online from the handmadehome.net, and I will have a link for that down below. So once I printed it up and hole punched it and put it in here, the first thing I do is go ahead and write in when our paydays will be. And then when a bill comes in, like say my water bill, I have my water bill right here. So when my water bill comes in, I look it over, I see how much it is, I see when it's due, and then I put water, the dollar amount on the day it's due. And then I go ahead and stick the bill into the pocket. So that's why I get the pocket dividers, so that all of my bills slip in here. I never find it too overstuffed. They all fit fine. And on this side right here on a tab, we actually have one loan that I don't get a bill in the mail for or any sort of reminders. So I just keep a little post-it on here just to make sure that I pay it every month. And every month I will just go ahead and take it off and stick it on to the next month once it's been paid. The reason I like to use a monthly calendar like this is because I like to see what is going to be paid from each paycheck. It just makes it easier visually for me. So I can see that on this payday right here, the first payday of the month, all these things need to be paid for with this check. The second payday, all of these things will be covered with this check. So normally, since it's coming out of that check, the first thing I do is go online and go ahead and pay the bills. Even if they're not due for the next 2 weeks, I will go ahead and pay them anyway, because the money is going to be gone before the next paycheck. And that way I make sure that money doesn't accidentally get spent. I do have a few transactions like auto insurance and one of our auto loans that come out automatically. So what I do with those is I go into my Quicken and I put the transaction into Quicken on the day it's due, and Quicken will hold it there for you at the bottom that it's going to be a future transaction. And I turn my selection to projected balance so that I can see what is going to be in my account after I pay for all of my bills. So I like to do that with all of my loans that are automatically paid. I have them automatically set up on there. Another thing that I do to budget is we set aside gas money and grocery money every paycheck. So say we set $300 aside for groceries and $200 for gas. The first thing I do when we get paid is go into Quicken and I automatically make a transaction, a fake transaction for groceries and one for gas, and so that the money's already gone. So in my projected balance, I see that that money's already spent. I don't know if that makes sense, and I will maybe try and go onto Quicken and show you what I mean. So here is a Quicken account that I just set up for demonstration purposes, and I just entered a couple of transactions into it. So what I'll do is I'll get my folder out and I will see what needs to be paid during that, period of paycheck. And I will go ahead and start entering them in. So let's say that I have a bill that isn't due until the 8th. I'll go ahead and set it to the 8th, and let's say that it's car loan, and then I'll go ahead and do that. I don't know if you can see, this blue line right here means anything below it is a future transaction. And what I do is I come up here to today's balance and I select view projected balance. And what this does is it lets me know up here what I actually, not what's physically in my account, but what is gonna actually end up being in my account. I see so many times people forget that they paid something or spent money on something and it takes a few days to come out of their account, and in the meantime they went ahead and spent that money thinking that it was there. So I never really have that problem because I don't pay attention to what's in my bank account. I pay attention to what this number says right here. And I do reconcile my account weekly at least, and it is never off. That is another thing too. I hear people all the time say how a few cents here, a few dollars there ends up missing, and that has never happened to me. And if it does happen to me, I would find it immediately because I balance my account often and to the penny. So that was an example of a future payment that's going to come up. The other thing that I do is I say, okay, we have $300 for groceries and $200 for gas. So what I'll do is I'll come in here and select the date for the next paycheck. I'll say, okay, this is the money that we get to spend on this all the way up until the 15th. So I'll come in here and let's just say food and groceries, and I will say $300. And then I will also come in here and do gas the same way. I'll put the next time that we're gonna get paid and say, let me see, fuel, and that is under auto fuel. And I'll set, oh, I just realized that I have that in the wrong part. Let's say $200. And this belongs over here. So as you can see, these are also below the blue line because they will be future transactions. And now I do not accidentally spend my grocery money or my gas money on anything else, because this is what my balance will be. And if at the end of the 2-week period, because my husband gets paid every 2 weeks, we have extra money in any of these two categories, we usually go ahead and try and put that in our savings account. So once I have this set up this way, what I'll do is say I go to the grocery store, and I'll come up here and say I went yesterday to the grocery store. Let's say I went to Costco groceries and I spent $50. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and come back down here to my food and subtract the $50 and leave that at $2.50. And that's how I kind of keep track of how much money we have going out to groceries. So I have the actual transaction up here and what's left over in our budget to spend. I do like the envelope system that Dave Ramsey uses, but I tend to do everything online or with a debit card. So this is my version of the envelope system, I guess. And it's worked for me for the past few years. I don't miss payments on anything. I don't overextend myself and spend money that's not in my account. I hope you found this video a little bit helpful. Like I said, I've taken bits and pieces of what other people do and incorporated it into something that works for me. And I just thought I'd share this with you guys, just in case there's anything you can use to help you out and keep organized with your finances. I apologize if I was unclear on anything or rushed through anything. I didn't want this video to be too long. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or go ahead and leave a comment below, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. I am by no means a professional budget bill payer. This is just what I do and what works for me, and I wanted to share it with anybody who is interested. So if you liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button, and if you would like to see more videos from me, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Bye.